Okay, here's my test of the Outback Motortek crash bars. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. But if you want to see the guys at Outback Motortek do it, click on the link right there and stay tuned for all the information I can give you on these guys. Okay, as you can see, I have installed these Outback Motortek crash bars. Really liking the look of them. Just wanted to take a quick second to make a video about some of my thoughts on it. There's other videos on it. Outback Motortek has a good video on the installation, so I'm not going to go too much into that. I will talk a little bit about one little idiosyncrasy I found, but I followed their video and it took me maybe half an hour to install. And I tend to mess things up and take longer than I should. So not a hard installation. So when it comes to crash bars, you have two choices that I've seen on the 300Ls. Two choices at least for the Rally. You can get this kind that protect this upper fairing, radiator, basically all the guts here. Or you can get one, I know SRC Moto makes one, it looks really nice, nicely made, that covers the engine, and it comes with a skid plate as well. So the bottom. I suspect, just by looking at how the pictures of the one on SRC Moto, I suspect that you could do both. If you wanted the protection and you're okay with the amount of weight that you're adding. I'm going to talk about the weight in just a second. I weighed them. I weighed them before I installed them along with all the hardware, and then I weighed the hardware that came off, which wasn't much, that this replaced, and subtracted the two. Spoiler alert, it's about 12 pounds. So I don't know how much the ones that just protect the engine cost, but probably 10 or 12 pounds as well. I wanted this just because I feel, at least with the kind of riding I do, I felt like all of this is pretty well protected. I don't even have a metal or stronger skid plate on yet. I may do that at some point, but with everything I do, this is adequate. I'm mostly worried about the radiator getting munched when I tip over. I know you can get radiator protection. I know Flatland Racing makes a really good one by all accounts. And I think it's actually the Flatland Racing radiator protector is better for the 300L than it is for the Rally, at least by the pictures. It looks like it's mostly just kind of front protection for the Rally. And on the L, it looks like it kind of comes around. Could be wrong on that, but that's what it looked like to me from the pictures. So anyway, this is the part of the bike that I'm most worried about. Obviously, it'd be nice to not break my plastics if I crash. But yeah, that was my logic. Personally, I think it's a better idea on the Rally to get the upper crash bars than the lower engine guard skid plate combo. One of the questions I had that I couldn't really find an answer to specifically on the internet before I bought these was, could I get these crash bars and use a different company's skid plate? I really like Flatland Racing's products. I use their skid plate on my XT250, just love the quality. So the answer is yes, for sure. And it may be obvious when you see how this mounts, but it mounts to brackets that get installed here. The skid plate's going to be mounted to these bolts under here. So yes, you could totally put on a different skid plate. You wouldn't have to use the Outback Motortek skid plate, although I'm sure it's great. This seems to be very good quality. Obviously better welded than I could do for sure. But that was a question I had. If you had it, now you know. You could definitely install a different skid plate or no skid plate, as I have right now, and you will be just fine. Pretty straightforward installation if you follow the instructions that Outback Motortek provides on their YouTube channel. it goes in pretty easily. A couple things that I found on mine, I don't know if this is specific to me, but I wanted to mention these bolts. There's 4 of them that connect in various places. There's that have a bolt, 2 washers, and a nut. There's one on this side, 2 under here that connect this middle bar, and then 1 over there on the left side. In the video, they say they're all 25 millimeters. Now, I didn't measure, but in my set, 2 of these bolts were a little bit shorter and 2 were a little bit longer. If you get the same thing, I recommend going the shorter bolts up here, because you're just going through 2 pieces of metal, and use the longer ones down here because you're going through 3 pieces of metal. So you're going through the frame, you're going through the bracket that comes on the bars, and the bracket that goes on the center brace. So again, if you have longer, 2 that are a little bit longer, 2 that are a little bit shorter, use the longer ones here. Another thing to note, this cross brace bar here, it can pivot up and down a little bit when you're installing it. I went as far down as I could, and it still just barely touches the fender here. So I'm sure that's gonna rub smooth. I mean, I certainly don't feel it when I'm, turning the handlebars, but just something to note. Okay, so as for how wide these stick out, it is right at about 2 inches on this side. That's the right side. And about the same over here on the left. So count on being about 4 inches wider total with these things on. Of course, you're still well skinnier than the handlebars, but it's still a factor. Okay, I'm gonna take just a second to show you the weighing process. You'll be able to see kind of what the parts all look like individually. And also you can see me prove to you that they weigh about 12 pounds total. After that, I'm going to take it out for a ride, see if I can tell any difference. Obviously 12 pounds heavier is going to make a objective difference, but whether I can tell a difference is yet to be seen. I'm hoping not. The gas is up here. This is kind of in the middle, and then there's kind of some weight down here with the brackets. I suspect the center of gravity is going to be somewhat similar. I don't think it's going to pull it down, which would be actually nice. That would be an advantage of getting the crash bars that just go around the engine, is all that weight would be down here, which would actually lower your center of gravity. It might actually help handling a little bit, but I'm hoping this doesn't hurt handling. And I will get out there on the road. It's kind of a wet, muddy day, so I'm probably just gonna go out on the street, drive around, just kind of get a feel for it. So, see you in a bit. All right, gonna weigh these bars. This is something that I wanted to do because it was hard for me to find any information about it when I was looking around prior to buying it. All that their site says is that their goal is to keep the CRF300L Rally lightweight and protected, but no specific details. So I'm just gonna find out what lightweight means to them. I can already tell these are heavy, but that's not necessarily a bad thing when you want to protect your bike. Now, I live in the United States, so this is all pounds. Somebody can do the conversion if they want. We're at 6 pounds, almost 7 pounds. All right, so 11 pounds, 7.6 ounces without the hardware. I'll add the hardware. Some of this will be replacing existing hardware, so I'll weigh whatever I take off afterwards, and we'll get you a sum total. About 12.5 pounds, 12 pounds, 5 ounces, 5.6 ounces. So I guess 12 1/3 pound-ish. Okay, I just installed the crash bars on my bike, and this is all that's left over. So we'll take the old total, or the total of all of the parts that came with it, which was, I believe, 12 pounds, 5.6 ounces. And we'll subtract 5.7. Oh, we're going to be right at 12 pounds almost. Okay, 6.1. So that puts us half an ounce under 12 pounds. And half an ounce, I mean, you could have that variance in just in welds and things like that. So I would count on about 12 pounds. I think that's what, 5.5 kilos or something. I'll put it up on the screen. Okay, gone out on my first ride with these Outback Motortek crash bars. We shall see how it goes. Hoping not to be able to tell any difference at all. So, just right off the bat, I certainly don't notice anything. Not feeling that extra 12 pounds down there on the crash bars. I wasn't actually planning on riding on dirt today, but it's drier than I thought it was going to be. You can see them down there, hopefully. Just sitting in my garage, they seemed way wider, but out here riding, I don't even notice them. Okay, so in summary, I like them. If you're considering these and you have questions, the answers are, how much do they weigh? 12 pounds. How much wider are they than your bike? 2 inches on each side, so 4 inches total. Are they hard to install? No. How long do they take to install? 30 minutes if you're slow like me. They come in red and black. What color should you get? I guess it's up to you, but the correct answer is black. How much do they cost? At the time I bought them, $250 US plus $50 shipping, so $300. Can you install these with a different skid plate or no skid plate? Yes to both questions. Do they affect the feel of the bike as you're riding? I would say no, not to my perception. What else? Where did I hear about them? You probably don't care, but I saw them installed on Itchy Boots' bike, so thank you to her for turning me on to these things. If you are in the market for them, I hope this video has been helpful. I'm certainly not sponsored by them, nor do they even know I exist, other than as a line item in a ledger book somewhere. As always, thanks for watching. Subscribe if you feel like it, and we'll see you later.